Hey guys, and welcome back to another week in DearPiggy's Basic Algorithms in Java. Wow, okay, I'm still getting used to saying that. I have to admit, I've kind of gotten used to saying data structures. But it's week 2 of Basic Algorithms in Java. Just to kind of recap, last week we talked about, what did we talk about again? We talked about prefix sums. There we go. It took me a second to remember that. And remember, prefix sums, we talk about my cookie business and cookie sales every single day and adding them up over time, right? Hopefully that rings a bell. Go check that out. Today, we're going to be talking about custom comparators. So like the name suggests, custom comparators are going to be comparing something, right? And so oftentimes we are comparing things in our mind, and especially in math, and it's something that we don't even realize that we're doing ourselves. But in reality, it's something that while we think it's so simple, when it comes down to writing code, it could get really messy because we can't tell the computer to do everything for every given scenario. But when we use custom comparators, we can tell our computer to customly organize things based on our functions in almost every given scenario. So this first video is going to be really quick, really easy. We're not going to do any coding. We're going to be introducing the concept, and we're going to introduce what a custom comparator is. I'm going to give you a real life example, and then I'm going to introduce you to the coding concept. Next video, we'll start to code. If you haven't noticed already, I'm taking a new approach in this new course, where in the first video for every topic, I kind of talk about I give you a real life example, so you know when would I use this in real life. So no, I'm not just scamming you. We actually do use these in real life. And then in our second video, we start to code it up. So let's get started. Our custom comparators. I have to say I pride myself 100% on the stories that I make up each time. I put a lot of effort into making sure these stories sound fun to you. But it only gets more fun when I actually read it out loud. So let me read this out loud to you. Let's say we manage a company. So remember our cookie business from last time, right? I'm getting filthy rich off of baking cookies. And I'm also getting really fat because I'm eating all those cookies. Okay, so we have our cookie business and we have a long list of customers over time, right? It's been 40 years. I'm now like 70 years old and I have a lot of loyal customers who love my cookies. And so when I have my customers, I always collect, tongue twisters on a Friday. We collect their name, their age, their cell phone, probably their favorite flavor, I don't know, how much they paid per purchase, what types of things they bought together. The list could go on, right? And generally, most companies, in my opinion, whether you know it or not, they do collect your data after you buy things from them, right? Just like Amazon and Walmart and whatever things, honestly, that you search up on Google and you're shopping for, they subconsciously collect your data and they figure out what you like, and based on your interests, they give you similar options. Well, our cookie business is not quite that complex. We're still migrating toward an online thing. Maybe, I don't know, we'll hire Sunny to code up a website for it. But yeah, so we want to sort our customers based on how I want them to fit our needs. So I want to sort them, for example, maybe based on their age. So see what different types of ages have different preferences. Do middle-aged people like chocolate more? Is that a sweet tooth? Do older elderly like vanilla more? Do the teenagers love my trolley gummy worm magical creation? What is it that they like? So we could sort that by age. We could also sort them by names. I know this is kind of weird, but maybe people who start with J particularly enjoy something different, right? And so the list goes on. My whole point is that when we collect the data, we want to be able to sort it based on something that we tell it to sort it by. And so this is where custom comparators come in handy. So story time has come to an end. I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed my story about my cookie business. Don't worry, I only collect your information for my own use. I would never ever sell your cookie preferences to anybody. Of course not. Why would I do that? Okay, so now that we've gotten our story done, let's talk about custom comparators in code form. So what does this mean in our code? Well, we use custom comparators to compare the objects of defined classes. So that does sound complicated, but let's break it down. In our Intro to Java course and Intermediate Java And data structures. We talked a lot about our classes, right? We always had separate classes, whether it was a student class or a couple weeks ago, it was our node class. We have these separate classes, right? And those classes usually have their own variables, a constructor, functions, right? And so what we're going to do is in the main function, we're going to use the custom comparator to compare different instances of the classes that we make. So for example, if we have our customer class, well, customers could include Sunny1, Sunny2, Sunny3. Why? Because I'm just buying my own cookies, right? And so those Sunny1, Sunny2, Sunny3 are the instances or the objects, and we're using our custom comparator to compare these instances. So that way we can store our data, especially those that have already been saved to a data type inside our class. And this makes our code easier to read, to just look at in general, and it saves a lot of time, right? The general gist of this is we think that comparing things in our head is super easy, right? Whether it's least to greatest, alphabetical, it's easy for us. But when it starts to type code, there's actually a lot of things you have to take into consideration, and custom comparator does it for us. So I'm sorry guys, this was kind of a long video with no code. I don't think it was that long, but I do get carried away when I talk. So we didn't do any coding this time, but we did listen to a good story and we talked about what a custom comparator was. Now in our next video, we're going to start to code things up a little bit and write our own version in Replit of a custom comparator. And we're going to compare some cookie customers, and it won't just be me this time. All right, I'll see you guys next video. Bye guys.